If you're old enough to have hairs on your balls, you remember a game called Space Quest. According to dweebs on Reddit, Buckazoids, the game's native currency, has an eerily look similar to Bitcoin and said to be its precursor in 1991. Now a Buckazoids token has been launched, reaching $2 million market cap. Did Space Quest predict Bitcoin in 1991, or is this another case proving that there are too many nerds without girlfriends in crypto?
Bash bros, bash bros, bash bros.
What's going on, guys? So today we're covering the Buckazoids token. Our stalker tool picked it up all through here as volume started picking up. We got all these swaps coming in, and I jumped online right in here, and that's the first thing I saw was like, hey, what's Buckazoids? Because there's like all these guys going in heavy. It drew my attention to this token, so I was able to actually go and check out the narrative straight away, right? So the first thing I want to say, and I'll go through all this data soon to show you guys how it all played out, but the first thing I want to say is, guys, you don't have to be first in order to make some decent gains in this market. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with getting it, into these moves in here where there's heaps and heaps of volume hitting the market. Once you have understood a narrative and how it can affect the the CT space and all that sort of stuff, okay? So even though if I was online, you could see that we caught Buckazoids all through here on pump, and even through this area here as well. But moving on to my second point, sometimes narratives play out differently, and this narrative it's a little bit different. Let me just go to my full screen. So see this narrative here, right? See how it's like this, it's this sort of like parabolic sort of curve. What do they call it? Like a singularity, right? It's just like starts out flat and then it slowly starts building up steam. What this means, right, is that it takes a while for a narrative to be understood and consumed by the market. So right in here, there was like no one really got the grasp of what was going on. Yeah, it's set at 200k, which is pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? In today's sort of conditions. But it was only once people started clicking onto what was going on that there's a pretty cool story behind it, that all this volume pumped into the market, okay? So the benefit of that is that you're able to take advantage of this because the market is slowly catching up to why this has a decent narrative. And as you can see, look at it. This is where people are like doing some really decent gains, you know what I'm saying? And this would be opposed to sometimes you check a narrative and the narrative is very, very clear, like Elon Musk tweeted, or some president tweeted, or whatever, do you know what I mean? That's just instant like this, and then it slowly dies off, you know what I mean? And here's the opportunity, and it's a very, very short opportunity. Otherwise you top blast this crap and then you get smoked, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas the position that we're in with this coin, and these coins are really, really good because you've got time to be like, hey, you know what, this could have some decent legs behind it, and as you can see, it does. How far this thing can go, who knows? That's up to the whole CT space and crypto in general to decide. But as you can see, it's starting to play out. People are starting to get in real heavy here. So what I want to do now is just go through the data that we picked up. Okay, so this is, I jumped on right in here, so right on the 40, it was right in here. Okay, now when I just see, okay, this is the size of their Solana that they're dropping in, and it's not just one guy, they're multiple guys. Okay, you got the shallow token beforehand, shadow, and then this Buckazoids comes out of nowhere with all this volume, and you're just like, hey, what's going on here? This guy drops 28, 30, 40. These guys are all these, these coals on the leaderboard and all that sort of stuff. But there's heaps of guys that are just dropping in heavy, right? Now you got to ask, why are they doing that? Well, it's because they've picked up on something that they feel that they're quite early on, right? And obviously they did really well. But if you go back, we scroll back down here, you see how there's still guys getting in way earlier on the 9th minute, 8th minute, once they had migrated. Yes, a few of these well-known guys, some of my guys that I follow. All the way through the 4th minute, and then we have our guys here in the third, second, and then the 1st minute. I'm pretty sure we actually picked up some on pump as well, so let me just go check that out. So that's the queue without any filters, right? Seeing all the different buys that are taking place. Let me get rid of that and see how many got it on pump. You see what I'm saying? So there's some guys that got in really early, and they would have done really. Yeah, look at Cupsy, 2.9, 61 million tokens. Do you know what I'm saying? So heaps of our guys did really well on pump all the way through. Now the value of this is that we're able to be, you know, the data will draw our attention to what's going on, and then we just look into, hey, what's going on here, right? And obviously, once you have a look at this token, you're able to see, like, hold on, there's this random coin that's got a B on it that looks similar to Bitcoin, and now there's all these conspiracies that are, you know, that are starting to take over the web, starting to take over X and all those sorts of things. People speculating, and this is what's driving this market, you know. If you've got value out of our content, feel free to like this video and sub to our channel. It helps us brothers grow, and we'll continue to deliver stuff just like this. If you want to know or get your hands on this tool, our stalker tool, for free, there'll be a link in the description below. We've got both free version and a paid version of it. We track over 2,500 wallets on chain, right? This allows us to pick up on pretty much everything that sends, right? We capture all the data, all the volume plays, people loading up on pump. We track so much data that it allows us to be able to dissect what's going on in the market, what's moving, where's the opportunities, and it really presents all the tokens that we can put our attention into and study the narrative to find out if it's a good fit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it becomes very useful. So like I said, we've got both free and paid. Our top tier gets access to this entire account, right? So you get access to this, let me just full screen it. You get access to this all of these guys that I track, right? Some well-known guys, as well as some guys that aren't so well-known. They're a bit undercover, but we track them all, right? And so you get that, plus you get an extra 500 of your own free wallets to track yourself. So that's 3,000 wallets in total, all right? So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll also drop a link below for our Discord community, so you can jump in there. If you've got any questions about the tool or about what we do, then feel free to go in there and ask as well. All right, cool guys. I'll see you guys on the next video.